Hello and welcome once again to another Nijigasaki review, this time for episode 7. I'm Callan.
I'm Honey Panda Bunny.
Time certainly flies by. Episode 7, we're now over halfway through the series, and I've enjoyed it so far.
I've been enjoying it so far too. My thoughts on the episode. Overall, I thought this episode was okay. It didn't keep me as engaged as the previous ones, but there were a lot more references from the previous Sith game that did keep me more attached to it and interested. It's a good watch though overall.
For eagle-eyed viewers, they'll really enjoy this episode, definitely. And this was a nice episode for Kanata and Haruka as well. After 2 really strong episodes that I really enjoyed, this one came off as fine. Not every episode is going to be a home run, but what is here is good. And I thought Kanata was treated very well in this series. I like the depth that they added to her character. Though I do wish that stuff like her part-time job had been teased earlier. Maybe we could have seen Kanata was coming home late in earlier episodes just to build up a little bit to this episode. But it was still fine. And Haruka was a welcome addition. I like that she has a clear, defined character, but she's clearly here to complement Kanata's. And she doesn't take over the episode, which I appreciate. She's a bundle of joy, and I definitely wouldn't mind seeing reappearances.
Being able to see Kanata's everyday life, where she's working is a part-time job, helping cook, maintaining her study, as well as being in the idol club and looking after Haruka. It was really nice to see all of this. We're finally getting to see a lot more of Kanata and all these sides of her that we've never gotten to see before.
Before the opening song kicks in, I thought that first minute, 2 minutes was actually nearly perfect. Because it establishes entire groundwork for essentially the episode. We see Kanata having her part-time job to support Haruka, as you mentioned. We see her cooking for her. We see that the strong bond that the two sisters have. They very clearly very much love each other very deeply. Kanata obviously dotes on Haruka very much, and Haruka, you see it in the bits where when she first sees her cooking, she's, oh, let me help. But obviously Kanata, I can do it, it's alright, you don't need to worry, Haruka, you just focus on what you need to do. Sets the groundwork for later as well. And also in that scene, Haruka obviously mentions her own idol group as well. We already knew about in the previous episode with Rina, the Shinomine Academy, which I thought was just a nice bit of continuity as well. And obviously a clear reference to the School Idol Festival. We even see a shot of the group together, and they're all end cards from the game.
It was really nice being able to see all these end cards get fleshed out. It was also really nice to see Kanata get excited over her sister when her sister obviously goes, oh, I want to go see the School Idol Club. So it was really nice to see Kanata get that excitement and see, usually she's low energy, and here we get to see her get really excited because it's her sister. It's
something I actually really appreciate about that scene, because when she's cooking for Haruka, when you see her working, she's noticeably less sleepy than she is with the club. And that's obviously because she's putting on that strong front, which she doesn't want to show to Haruka. As we see later on in the episode, she doesn't want her to know about her sleeping, about her falling asleep all the time. Haruka really wants to see Kanata's concert, and Kanata is obviously, I definitely will be in the front row to see your performance as well, which obviously builds up their bond a little bit more. We also get the scene at night, where you see Kanata still working. Seemingly on the left side, she's obviously working on her studies, and on the right, we see a drawing of a costume, which will be relevant in the song at the end.
Also many sheeps.
Yes, there's lots of pillows and sheep iconography. It's really cool. Something I do really appreciate as well is this isn't just Kanata self-sacrificing her dream for Haruka. Very much wants Haruka to do her own thing. And it becomes part of the episode, this integral bit where she can't let go of the School Idol Club. It's something she very much loves and appreciates, but she also very much wants to support Haruka as much as she can, to almost an unhealthy degree. And I really like as it crosses over, you see that Haruka is silently pretending to sleep, and naturally you see this worry for her as well. Afterwards, the next morning, Haruka shows an interest in wanting to meet the School Idol Club. Obviously, she's heard so much about it from Kanata, and she wants to come to Nijigasaki.
Kanata ends up taking Haruka to the school, and we get to see Setsuna, Ayumu, and Yu all getting excited over having this member.
We see Yu fangirling her.
Yeah, Yu's like excited and is like, oh, Shinonome School
Idol Academy, and it makes sense that because she's so passionate about idols,
she's like
that she would know.
Yeah.
She would know all about this, and that they mention that Haruka is seemingly the most popular one of the group.
Yeah, and we get to see all of the group here, and it's like a cameo of other end cards. So we get ones like Kasane Hasekura, Yori Mido, Christina, Yu Aizawa, Mizuki Kikawa, and the very side ponytail of Coco, which is really cute.
I only really recognised Christina and Kasane. I did recognise their characters, so I did look that up online afterwards.
But it was still nice to see them. It was really cute.
In the training as well, we see that Kanata is very extra motivated to show off for her sister. And you see, and it's something that I've always read in the games as well, is that when Kanata gets serious, she can really push herself to do some incredible things. And you see it when she's outrunning Ai at the start.
And Ai's been seen to run track for hours in her previous episode, so we know how much work that Kanata is diligently putting in here. We also see Haruka confiding already a little bit in you here, which shows that we're already getting Haruka's worry for her sister. And not just that, but we're already getting this grow of, oh, I didn't know that Kanata could run so fast. So it's almost Haruka's being surprised by her own sister, as well as already seeing that Kanata's already growing within her capacity to run faster, I'm assuming.
So after a few comical scenes with the club, during the scene just before they meet Haruka, Kasumi, Shizuku, Ai and Karen, there was a little scene that I think might be more important later, because they do drop little bits of hints for what is to come. Kasumi claims that she's the club president. Ai's, oh, are you? And then Shizuka's, oh, she's the self-proclaimed one. Obviously, we know that in the game continuity, you, or the player character, is the club president. So she's not taken the role yet in the anime. And I think after we get the 9 girls as episodes, I think the episode after that will be about you. And it will be about her potentially assuming that role and maybe even writing her first song.
So within those little training bits, we get a little bit more background growth of characters as well. So Rina's actually doing her stretches. Now she's actually able to fully touch her toes. And then later on, when Kasumi gets a ball to the face, Karen's, at ease, kind of like giggling about it. So there was some really nice
we see that
scenes.
Karen's loosened up a little bit more and that Rina's obviously improved, which is nice little bits of continuity. So after training, they all settle down and have lunch, cookies, copper pan.
All those delicious treats. Haruka's reaction was literally mine. They all looked amazing. I do wonder who made what. I know that Kasumi made the most of it, at least the buns.
Well, Kasumi made the copper pan and Emma's the one that claimed that on short notice they could only make cookies. So I'm assuming it was a group effort.
And then later on we get like a little bit of Karen going, oh, if you don't take some of the cookies then Emma's going to eat them all. And it was a really nice like throwback to
Karen
their friendship.
calling her girlfriend fat.
Yeah. Then we finally find the cause of Kanata's sleepiness.
Well, she falls asleep during this scene, and we've seen throughout the course of the episode that Haruka, even during the running scene when you was telling her about how hard she's worked since the club's restarted, you see that there's this hint of worry in Haruka's eyes that her sister's obviously overworking herself. It's also the reaction of the club that I think also frightens her, which is that this is normal. You know, they've already got the pillow ready, they've already got the blanket ready, everyone's like, oh, you know, she's working so hard. And this is Haruka realises that this is a common occurrence, this happens daily, and it naturally worries her.
Spooks her, yeah.
Haruka's been talking with you. You actually mentions that she's a cheerleader for all the other girls, which is, I do like that they really build up their kind of dynamic together, which I think will work perfectly in a scene after this one. Kanata wakes up and she's naturally embarrassed that, oh, Haruka saw me falling asleep. One thing that is interesting is that Kanata she just sees it as an embarrassing secret. She doesn't see it as, oh, I need to hide this from her. She doesn't fully realise the situation, which is when Haruka is talking to her, she's unsure why she's reacting like that.
Yeah.
Because as the big sister, she feels she has to take it all on herself as well. Haruka she essentially quits being a school idol because, and this is something that is dealt with in Japanese culture, is this idea of overworking yourself to death. It's actually a very common occurrence in Japan. And obviously it doesn't go that dark here, but there is the implication. She even mentions that, oh, you're killing yourself by doing this.
And it's for Kanata's sake. They both actually have really good points here for both of their arguments. Kanata isn't willing to lighten her load by relying on Haruka more because she cares and wants to make sure that Haruka's happy. Kanata can't. She only sees it as she has to quit, but that's not gonna work either, or she has to work harder. Finally, it comes to the point of where Haruka makes the decision to quit.
When I rewatched this scene, I actually really did like it. Their intentions are pure, but because of the emotions, both of their logics is a little bit flawed. Kanata really doesn't help herself with this situation, which is, she says two things that obviously Haruka doesn't want to hear. She first implies that, as the little sister, Haruka doesn't have to worry about anything. And naturally Haruka's like, no, I do worry. Why is it that I'm the younger one that I can't look after you? As a counter, Kanata says perhaps the worst thing she could possibly say, which is, okay, I'll work even harder. And that just makes Haruka just proving her point in a way. Haruka is essentially doing the same thing as Kanata. She's self-sacrificing herself for the other one. What she doesn't realise is she's doing the same thing that Kanata does. So what Haruka's doing isn't necessarily right. Yu runs after Haruka. And I actually really do like this scene. Their, not friendship, but their relationship had been built with over the course of these few scenes. This feels like a reference to Kanata's Bond stories. When Haruka gets introduced in the Bond stories, it's you as the playable character that has an off-screen conversation with Haruka in the All-Stars game where Haruka wants to take on more of a burden to relieve it from Kanata, like she's rejecting her bentos. I like that this feels like a reference with you and Haruka having this conversation. We come to the scene with them at lunch eating. Kanata and Haruka, as we see in a flashback. Haruka's essentially going to do a final performance at Venus Fort. Kanata responding to Haruka's wanting to quit. And she's just about to say the words that she's going to quit, but Yu cuts her off, because that's obviously not what Kanata should be doing in this situation. And then they all offer their words of wisdom. And they even say it, I believe it's Rina, that says, oh, you're both very alike. It's this resolution that they could ease the burden off each other.
Really nice to see the group all come together and help her realise that it's okay to be, well, they call it being honest, but also being a little bit selfish is fine too. I don't think there's anything wrong with using the word selfish. She can have everything that she wants and still work hard, but she also needs to share in the burdens that she's got as well. They make her realise that she's only got it on herself and that it's okay to be able to rely on someone else. And that's what we get here later on with Kanata realising, okay, I can rely on Haruka and that's fine and still want my goals as well. It's okay, I need to help her grow up too. Help her realise that she doesn't want to stop being an idol and that I can rely on her still.
So we come to the Venus Fort concert. Haruka's there. She's nervous because she doesn't think Kanata's going to come and see her. And we see Yu and Setsuna, and then there's two of the girls from the Shinamine Academy. And I do like that they actually gave them dialogue. I thought it was pretty cool. There's the potential that these could be the rivals later, maybe. These could be the Arise / Saint Snow to this group. Or they could just be a friendly little background detail. It is nice that these end cards that people might have seen from years back now get to be actual characters. Yu tells Haruka that she's waiting for her, and then she goes to the stage. We see everyone's up on the balcony watching. Kanata, she comes out looking like a queen. She's got the crown. She's wearing she's wearing the dress that she drew at the start in her study. She smiles at Haruka.
Gives her a wink.
Yeah, this is very clearly a song directed to Haruka, and then we start her song, Butterfly.
We see a very pretty Kanata, which is probably my favourite song here. It's so bouncy and happy and so different from what Kanata usually does compared to her slow songs. I love all the soft bits at the beginning where she's like almost whispering, and then there's bits where she sings in English and it sounds so lovely and soft. Gives me those vibes from Beautiful Moonlight that has in Quartz. It's such a bop, and I love the visuals of it as well. It looks like a Vocaloid MV at the beginning, with all the presents and that kind of thing, and then the idea of her dancing in the rain makes it feel quite childish. And it's kind of like something maybe she'd have done with Haruka when they were younger.
I thought this song I actually really liked it. It had a different sound than Kanata's previous songs. I noticed that she incorporated more English in this one. This one felt very cinematic compared to the previous ones because this was letterboxed. And I actually thought that this was something they would have saved for Shizuku because it gave off a movie-like quality. But I did think it fit Kanata as well. I like the scenes with her walking with the umbrella. Visually, this one was very impressive. I think you could screenshot anything from this performance and you get something worthy of background here. I would say that this is the opposite of Rina's previous one from the last episode. The performance felt secondary to the visuals, and the visuals were very nice, and I actually really did like the choreography. I thought Kanata moved really nice. I really like that bit at the start where it's her two sides and they're dancing, and it's very, very nice. The performance, the little that we do see of it, I actually really, really, really like, and I would have liked to have seen more. But it's clear that the focus here is on the visuals and her connection to Haruka, as we see in the song. And I actually really like as well that Haruka's almost part of the music video as well.
They like hold hands in it.
Yeah, and you actually see her reacting as well. You see like tears coming down her eyes. So this is a very emotional and very impressive song.
Though it did feel a little bit short, this song.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about this song, but I don't know if that's because how good it was, or generally it did feel very short compared to the previous ones.
We wanted to be left hearing more.
So the song ends. Haruka runs on stage, she gives Kanata a big hug, confide in each other, and Kanata pretty much spells out the message of the episode as they need to support each other more on. And something I actually really like is that it's Kanata is the one that suggests Haruka cook. It would feel like a cliche if Haruka was the one that was like, I need to cook for my big sister. I like that it's Kanata passing on that big sister thing to do as well. And the little dance afterwards is really cute as well.
This is Kanata's way of asking Haruka without making it a bit too obvious for her. I thought it was a really nice touch there as well. And we get the girls at the end. We get Setsuna go, oh, thank you for letting us use this stage. And they go, oh no, we'd rather have our member than, have you use this stage. And it was really nice to see them, and it opens up this world of introducing more idols. In that there's so many idol groups in here, and Nijigasaki just so happens to be the one that we're following.
One thing I've always appreciated about Love Live is whenever they introduce a rival, they're always friendly. They're competitive, but they're always good-natured about it, which is something that's continued here and something I really appreciate. I definitely would like to see these characters again. I'd have loved to have seen a performance, but I understand that would have undercut Kanata's performance, and she's the focus of the episode, not this other group. Another thing that I actually really appreciate about this episode is I feel this is the first time, usually when we get a performance, the episode ends or it cuts to the ED within 20 seconds. We'll get a reaction, someone will say a line, and then it'll fade, and for the most part that really works for me. But I really like that there's another minute or two after this episode, and we actually see the development of the episode where Kanata and Haruka, you see her cooking, and Haruka's obviously struggling because she's still new to it, but Kanata's obviously supportive and helping her. It feels like a nice little conclusion to this episode.
Yeah, it was really cute being able to see them cook together. Another thing I wanted to mention about the Shinonome Academy, the outfits that they're actually wearing, Kanata actually has an outfit that matches with them in the original Sith game. So she was also part of that group in the previous game, so it's nice to see that they're actually using an outfit from the game as well, that Kanata actually has the outfit for in the game.
Kanata watching over is adorable. She's such a good big sister, and Haruka pouts like Shizuku. Really nice conclusion.
And then we get the next time with Shizuku, and she kind of looks at a script. And
we see sad Shizuku.
Yeah, and then looks out of the window. And then we go on to the next time.
I am actually really excited for the next episode, just because it's going to be the first year trio, and it seems that they're going to go around Venus 4 and have a fun time. I actually really love their dynamic actually in the game. I think this is my favourite trio with first years, so I'm very, very excited for next episode. And as well, Shizuku is a character that I'm not very high on. I appreciate Audrey, but for the most part, Shizuku is a character I'm not as invested in. So I'm hoping that, similar to the Emma episode, that this can really reinvigorate Shizuku in my eyes and something that I can make her go up in my estimations.
I've always really liked Shizuku, especially after Audrey, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with her here, because obviously we've got the acting side that we've seen with her senpai being there, but we've also got the shenanigans of the idol club. Really interesting to see how those two worlds are going to mix together, and I'm super excited to hear her song, because every time she makes a song it's a completely new sound for her.
Thank you very much for listening to us ramble about Nijigasaki for the 7th time.
Thank you.
And goodbye.
Bye bye.